Okay, let's look at the practice exam 3, problem number 8. Right? So delta x is b minus a over n. Alright, so in this case, a is 0 and b is 1. Right? So delta x is 1 minus 0 over n, which is going to be 1 over n. Right? So that's part A. Right? Part B, xi, and xi is a plus I delta x. So this is going to be a is 0 plus I times delta x. Delta x is 1 over n. So therefore, 0 plus I over n. So it's I over n. Right? So that's xi. Right? Then in order to evaluate this definite integral using the definition, so we're going to just follow the definition. So this integral is going to be equal to limit as n approaches infinity. Then we have a summation. I goes from 1 to n. Right? So here, f of xi. So f of x is sitting right here. So f of x is right here. This is f of x. Right? So we just need to plug in xi, which is I over n. So you have 3 minus 2 times, xi. So we're going to put the I over n. Right? Then we have a delta x. So delta x 1 over n. So put 1 over n. Alright, then you can see that we can just distribute here 1 over n to 3. We're gonna get this. Alright, first we still have to have a limit as n approaches infinity. Right? So 3 over n has nothing to do with I, so we can put it outside. So 3 over n. Then you have a summation. I goes from 1 to n. Right? So you have a 3 over n already pulled out, so you have 1 left over here. Right? Then you have minus 2 over n squared, because you have 2 n's there. So it's going to be minus 2 over n squared, right? So that's just a constant. It has nothing to do with I. But here, this I, we still need to do a summation. So we have to do a summation. I goes from 1 to n of I, right? So we have to evaluate this limit, right? But here, if you pay attention here, if you have a summation of 1 as I goes from 1 to n, that's going to be n. So we have this guy right here is this is equal to n, and this guy right here also has a formula. It's n times quantity n plus 1 over 2, right? So we can just write it out and simplify. So we have a limit as n approaches infinity, right? So you have 3 over n times n minus 2 over n squared times n times the quantity n plus 1 over 2. right? Then we can simplify by canceling things out. So let's see, we have, right, there's n on the bottom, n on top, we can cancel that. There's n on top here, so one of the n cancel out, so I'm going to just cancel out the power, right? Then you have a 2 on top and 2 on the bottom, so we can cancel those out, right? So what's left is, this is equal to limit as n approaches infinity, right? Then you're going to have just 3 left over, right? Then you will have minus, right? Then right, so this is a little tricky, so let's see. Right, so we need to simplify here. So it's n plus 1 over n, so n divided by n is 1, right? 1 divided by n is 1 over n, right? Then we can take the limit. So as n approaches infinity, we know that the 1 over n approaches 0, because 1 divided by a big number, right? So what's left is, you can see that the 3 minus 1, which is 2, right? Right, so that's the value of this definite integral there. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.